Hello, welcome in. I am Mojo Medium, aka Susan Morrow Johnson, and I have just been really inspired to do this talk right now. Um, Lately, it's been a weird year. It's just been a weird year, and maybe you're having a weird year too, or maybe you have been in this situation. Um, the bottom line of how I've been feeling is that I've been spending all of my time retreating and regrouping. Retreat, regroup, repeat. Retreat, regroup, repeat. And it seems like everything that I've put out there in the last several months has just, you know, disintegrated into the ether. And, this mostly has to do with my work, which is, a lot of technical stuff that you probably don't care about. So I'm not going to bore you with that. But it's a feeling that probably you've had at one time or another, and maybe you have right now. Maybe you have it all the damn time. And that's just that feeling of everything you do goes nowhere, and everything you try doesn't happen, and then everything you try to fix doesn't work, and then you come up with a new idea and you do that idea and you're very excited about it and nobody else notices. Like if you're doing a great job at work, then maybe you're not being recognized. And not everybody needs a lot of adulation or rewards or praise. Praise is always nice. I mean, everybody appreciates being praised, whether it's with bells and whistles or just quietly, thank you, you did a good job. But we all need something, some feedback that's helpful. And when you're not able to find the answers, and when you're not getting any feedback, and you're not getting any praise, you go, well, what I've been doing is I retreat, regroup, and repeat. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again, right? So I am that Pollyanna type, and I really, I like to be positive, and I like to be inspired, and I like to inspire people. And, one of the tricks for inspiration for me, who was it who said, I think it was Henry David Thoreau, who said, you can't wait for inspiration, you have to go after it with a stick. So a long time ago, I was working on a novel that I've been writing for a really long time. I actually had the idea for this novel about 27 years ago, and finally started writing it about 6 years ago, maybe 6 or 7. So yeah, and I haven't written it. Because I've been working and I've been building my business and I've been dealing with my clients and helping people, hopefully helping people and using my gifts and service to others. And I would love to finish this novel, and I would love to share it with the world, but I haven't finished it. So here's what I learned about myself and inspiration when I was working on the novel. If I want to work on it, all I have to do is open it up and keep it open on my desktop. And then at some point, I will click on that particular window and start writing. Now, a lot of writers, I don't know if you're a writer, but a lot of writers don't work that way. They have to have some sort of routine or schedule, or, have their dog bite them in the morning so that they'll write, or bite them when they stop writing or something. A lot of writers really have a hard time making themselves write, even though they love it and they're good at it. For whatever reason, they put it off. And so that's what I learned about myself with inspiration. I just had to have it in front of me, and I would be inspired to write. So for a while, especially, I guess it was on Monday morning, I was like, I'm going to go and have a great week, right? I'm going to get out there and do my thing, and I'm so excited to get to help people with my gifts, and I'm just, I'm Susie Mojo, happy Pollyanna lady, And so I did my meditation. I did about 30 minutes in meditation, and it was very good. It was very inspiring. I came out of meditation still in meditation. Like I kind of got to stay in that headspace and felt all like spiritual and gooey, right? And I thought, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to get stuff done. I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to have to retreat and regroup anymore. And I'm going to go and do it and be great. I sat down at my desk and it just went away. And I can't attach it to anything in particular. I can't say, oh, it went away because I saw this. Hi, Alice, welcome. It went away because I sat down and saw yet another notice from Facebook telling me I can't advertise with them anymore, which that's part of the business garbage that you don't care about, so I'm not going to bore you with it. But I just sat down at my desk and all of a sudden, no inspiration. No inspiration. And for me, when I'm not inspired, it's very hard for me to work. And I'm not talking about the writing. Writing is a little bit of a different thing. Like I said, I can get inspired just by opening the book and seeing it there and rereading the last few paragraphs. And boy, I'm going to town. And before you know it, 2 hours have passed. I've written 3 chapters and I'm editing them to death. And somebody calls me to supper and, oh, I haven't even gone to the bathroom, But with work, it's more. I think writing for me is sort of spiritual and ethereal, whereas work is more concrete. It's yin and yang, Writing for me is very much in the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy. It's thinking, it's feeling, it's channeling, it's organizing. And then when I'm doing work, marketing, planning, scheduling, answering emails, handling messages, those kinds of things. When I'm doing that, it's a little bit more masculine energy. It's more of action, where the rubber meets the road. Concrete stuff. It's more thinky than feely, if that makes sense. It's very thinky. You have to concentrate, whereas writing, as an example, is more feely. It's more feely, and while I do have to concentrate and pay attention, it's more like making music. It's like singing. If you sing, it's receiving, it's flowing, it's feeling, it's spiritual. And the other work, and maybe this is like for you too, like if you work in an office, if you're an accountant or a property manager or as a barista, then it's more thinky and more acty. It's taking action, it's giving, it's starting, it's doing, it's putting out there, and it's thinking about, okay, next step this, next step this, next step this. So back to Monday morning, I sat down at my desk and I didn't have any of it. I had no thinky and I had no feely. Hi, Ellie, welcome. I had no thinky and I had no feely. And so no thinky plus no feely equals no inspiration. And I had felt so good, coming out of my meditation. I was like, yes, this is going to be a great week, great day. I'm ready to go, hit the ground running. And maybe I really had a lot of that masculine energy coming in my thinking, and really the feeling and feminine part wasn't actually there. So now it's Thursday, and I haven't accomplished much this week. I really haven't. I've been foundering because this time when I retreated and regrouped, the regrouping didn't do anything, And so, what do you do? What do you do when you're in that situation? I mean, for crying out loud, I'm a guru, I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm the mojo medium, I'm supposed to be using my gifts in service to others, which actually I recommend for everyone. And that's one of the things that I teach people is find your mojo or your essence or your talents and how to use them in service to others, and maybe get paid for them or maybe do them differently. Doesn't really matter. It just matters that you use your gifts in service to others because it makes you happy and it blesses you and the people you serve. That's my whole philosophy right there. So, what happens when the guru can't goo? what happens when the guru doesn't have the goo. Uh, this is what happens. You don't see me, you don't hear from me, and you probably don't think about it, but I'm not coming across your news feed or showing up in your email or whatever. And so I had a couple of other things between Monday and today where it was like, okay, this isn't working, and then another thing, this isn't working. And, I want to blame it on Facebook not letting me advertise. But part of that is looking at what's the message with something. Okay, so not only did I come upon something this morning, but when you are being thwarted in your attempts to accomplish something, it's important to look at why. So very often it is about self-doubt. Sorry, there's something weird under my desk. So often it's about self-doubt, and self-doubt, bottom line about just about everything is worthiness, a sense of worthiness. Do you feel worthy of accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish? Do you feel worthy of what you're trying to achieve or acquire? Maybe you're trying to make more money, and you just can't get there, and you just can't get there, and you just can't get there. If you're in sales, or if you work in an MLM, hi Piper, welcome. If you're not succeeding, or you're not getting more customers, or you're not making more money, down at the very, very bottom of what all might be the reasons and the messages there, the bottom is always, the bedrock is going to be that you don't feel worthy. So I know this. I'm the guru. I'm the mojo. I know this. So when Facebook first started giving me problems, at the first of the year, really, in January, they were doing some pretty mean things to me and not letting me advertise, and went through just a lot of rigmarole trying to get reinstated. And then they started not letting me even post my my website, my web address, or send it in Messenger to people. So I overcame that and fixed that. Then Facebook actually took down some of my videos. I've been doing this for over 2 years, the same thing. And this is my personal page, but I've been doing a weekly live show on my Facebook page, my business page, every week for 2.5 years. And all of a sudden, Facebook decides, I can't do that anymore. So, what? Okay, so after 6 months, I'm starting to say, I should ask, what is the message here? And this is good for you to know if you've been enduring something like this, where you continue to try to get there and you can't get there, and you can't get there. You can't achieve, you can't acquire, you can't do what you're trying to do, you can't accomplish. So when that happens, as soon as you notice it, start asking what the message is. It took me a really long time. It did occur to me back in May. Well, maybe Facebook isn't my best place anymore. Maybe I should try something else. And I'd already been doing a few other things, but I really started building up my YouTube channel, which is awesome. You can go there, search the Mojo Medium or Mojo Medium, and you'll see me. I have a channel there, and I'd love for you to subscribe. That would be great, very helpful, because I can't. That's another thing. Until I have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I can't go live and stream on YouTube from my phone. I can do it on the computer or a tablet if I had one, but not on the phone. Whatever. So anyway, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Wah! So I'm not going to worry about that. But what's the message? Maybe it's time to move on from depending so much on Facebook. Since all this has happened, my organic reach, and I promised you I wasn't going to talk about my business tidbits and little itty bitty nitty gritty, so never mind. But things have been going pretty well, even without advertising. That's the point. So another part of all this, and probably why Facebook started giving me trouble, is that this whole year really started in January. I've been kind of reinventing. I was called 2 years ago, maybe, to create Mojo Medium as an entity and to expand things. And then in January this year, it really started rolling. And you know, it was, I don't know if you feel this way, but when a change is coming, you can kind of feel it coming, but you're still in the cocoon, you know, and you're kind of like peeking out to see what kind of wings am I going to have when I get out of here. And that's how I was. I was kind of like about to be born. I was kind of in the womb for months, waiting for this change to come over me. So I thought it had happened. I thought I'd been born. I thought Mojo was here and whole and perfect and ready to go. But it hasn't been that way. I've had to tweak and change and so forth. And so I am becoming. I'm still becoming. Thank you. Thank you for the loves and the hearts. That must be Piper. Thank you. I am becoming. And you are becoming. It's something that we do all our lives. We are becoming. I am becoming more me. I'm becoming Mojo. I'm becoming the Susan who has 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am the Susan who makes X amount of money per year. I'm becoming this Susan who is capable of hosting 10 people at a weekend retreat, at which I really, really, really want to do. I'm planning on February, and it's going to be wonderful. Let me know if you really would like to hear about that. So I am becoming. I am always becoming. This year it's been particularly difficult. We got some really bad news on January 2nd. Bad health news for a very close family member. And so I've been, I've taken a lot of time off work to deal with that. And so it's just been a really tough year to also try to keep becoming. And so there's a friend of mine, her name is Allison, and she was a client years ago when I lived in Austin, years ago. She had 1 or 2 readings with me. And hey, Ellie, my motto during rough times, it's going to be okay. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Hang in there. That's good. Always here for you, Susan. A very sweet lady. Thank you, Piper. Thank you, Ellie. And Ellie, I've known you forever, and I'm so glad that we're connected here on Facebook. And I just live down in Southeast Houston. We could get together when I'm in Conroe to see my mom, and I hope we do. That would be fun. Okay, so back on track if I can get there. So my friend Allison, she got a couple of readings from me, and she wanted to become a coach. And at that time, and actually now, I coach business people, business owners, solopreneurs especially, to grow their businesses, and especially spiritual solopreneurs. I love to coach those people to become what they're trying to accomplish, achieve, and or acquire. Right? I got to write that down. Those 3 A's. That's good, isn't it? So I wanted to coach Allison, but she didn't coach with me. She didn't sign on with me as her coach. She just went out and became a coach. And I'm not sure really what was in between that, but the next thing I knew, she was a wonderful coach. And I love to listen to her. And here's the thing. So I was listening to Allison this morning, and this was after I got some inspiration. I was listening to her do just a live video like this, and she said she was going to turn it into a podcast, which I love that she does that. And I got inspired to try to do that myself, because I think that would be really cool to have this be a podcast. And I think that would be great for people to listen to, from their phone onto their car when they're driving or whatever. excuse me. And one of the things I noticed about Allison is her style, which I've always liked. Her style is similar to mine, maybe why I like it. But she was just holding forth. She was just telling people about an experience she had and what it meant to her, and how that was, her feelings were kind of universal, which I hope I'm sharing something pretty universal with you as well. And so a few weeks ago, I had a client who told me that she was leaving the program she was in because she thought that I was just talking about my personal problems. And I thought, that's so interesting. So I really took that kind of hard. I took that like, oh, criticism. She was actually gentle about it. She didn't just say, hey, you suck, I'm out of here, which, is not nice. But she was just like, yeah, I really just don't feel like I'm getting out of this what I wanted to get out of it. And so that automatically makes you think, oh, well, I'm doing it wrong because one person said they didn't like the way I do it. And then I go and I watch Allison, and she's doing what I like to do in a very similar way. And I think she's got a lot of clients. She's far more successful than I am. She's using her gifts in service to others. And she's doing this live video, turning into a podcast, in a very similar style to mine. And that, I needed that to remind me that my way is good. My way is my way, and it's okay. If you like my way, great. Welcome in. I'm happy to see you. If you don't like my way, that's okay. I'm not supposed to serve you. You're not one of my people, and I'm not one of your people. And that's fine. And so I have to remember that I am here to serve some people. I'm not here to serve the whole world. Now, would I like to have Oprah's reach? Sure. Would I like to have as many clients as Allison has? You bet I would. And I can't because I am becoming, right? Okay. So let me see, how long have I been on? I have no idea because it doesn't show me on the screen. All right. So I'll just keep talking. Up to this morning. So Monday morning, super meditation, very inspired, sat down at the desk and, it all went to shit. It's another thing I like about Allison is she swears. And, you may not know that I swear, but I actually kind of have a potty mouth. So, hi, Jenny. You are one of my people. Jenny, I love you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're one of my people and that I'm one of yours. So glad. Okay. So, Monday morning went, right? All right. And ever since then, it has just not been a great week. It just hasn't. I haven't gotten a lot done. I've done a lot of retreat, regroup, repeat. Yesterday I came home from physical therapy, which I've got a pinched nerve in my neck, and I'm much, much better. And the physical therapy is really helping. But I came home and I was just so sleepy. I had to go lie down. It was about 1 o'clock. And I lay down for a couple of hours, and I thought I wasn't asleep. I don't know, the cat came in while I was napping, and I looked at the clock and I thought, I've been lying here for 40 minutes and I'm still not asleep. And yet, when I woke up at 3 o'clock, I was asleep. But I didn't feel like I was asleep. It was really strange. It was more of, I told my husband, and he said, was it more like maybe you were in a meditative state? And I was like, I think so. And I think that's why I got sleepy. Not only to heal from, I had been doing the physical therapy exercises and so forth. So it's really good after that, or after a chiropractic adjustment, to lie down and rest so that your body can clear out the toxins, right? But I think also that my angels and guides, or spirit, was calling to me to lie down and get some downloads. Now when I woke up yesterday, I did not feel particularly inspired. I felt refreshed, but I didn't feel like, oh, now I've got it, I was still kind of in the 3 R's: retreat, regroup, repeat, retreat, So, boy, I like these 3 R's and the 3 A's. That's so cool. Accomplish, acquire, and achieve. That's what I do. I help you do those things. And how can I do that? Because I've been doing it myself. You want a coach who's been through something that you've been through, right? All right. So this morning, I did my spray and pray time. I did my spray and pray time. That's what I call when I go in the shower and I'm washing my hair and stuff, and then I ask my angels and guides. I confer with them, and I start off with a really simple affirmation that I use all the time, and I'll give that to you. It is, I love, I am loved, I am lovable, I am love. I'm going to repeat that in case you want to try to memorize it instead of writing it down. I love, I am loved, I am lovable, I am love. Now then, so this morning's spray and pray conference, spray and pray time in the shower. I said, I need some inspiration. I need some get up and go. I need something. What's going on? And the answer was to keep going, to be me, to continue becoming. Don't worry about reinventing every day or every week. Don't worry that you're continually becoming and learning and growing and expanding. Don't worry that XYZ didn't work, ABC might. Just keep going. I think it was General Patton who said, when you're going through hell, keep going. Or was that Churchill? I have all these quotes in my head and I don't know who said them. So I hit the ground running today. I did. I went over to Starbucks for what I call a sesh, which is usually journaling in my journal. And I also took my work journal, which is where I write down my to-dos and my to-dones and so forth. So let me take a look at today's journal and let you know kind of what came out of that. It is to embrace the becoming. Let's see here. I am becoming. It just feels like this entire year so far has been becoming, reinventing, recreating. I seem to have been in retreat and regroup mode for months. And so the inspiration was, do that. You do YouTube and distribute. And fuck you, Facebook. Oh, and by the way, so keep retreating and regrouping. I am becoming. So I am becoming. Let's see here. Embrace, retreat, and regroup. Embrace where I am now. Embrace reinvention. That's where the good stuff is. I am becoming. And oh, I really wish I'd gotten this one quote out for you. I'm trying to think. My Windows, my computer is updating, and when it said, "Do you want to update now?" I was like, "Sure, no problem." That was 3 hours ago, and it's at 24%. So that's why I'm on my phone. Whatever. Hallelujah. So the idea is to embrace the becoming. And when I wrote down, that's where the good stuff is, I remembered this quote, which I cannot now access because it's on my computer and on my phone. The quote is it came from one of my very own RIPs. The day of his funeral, or the day after his funeral, the day before his funeral, I was going to sleep, and I kind of connected with him, and I asked him, how he was doing and that sort of thing, and he said, I want you to tell your dad this. He was a real good friend of my dad's, and what he said was very meaningful to my dad, but essentially what he said was, be glad for the unknowing. Be glad for what you don't know. That because that's where God is. God is in the unknowing, the searching, the impetus, the motivation, the curiosity, the seeking, the finding. That's where creation is. So I'm paraphrasing. But I got a chill, so I think I got it right, because I get a chill of confirmation. So my RIP must be checking in and saying, "You got it right, hon. That's good." And I really want to use the word spirit more than God, because I feel like God is sort of supercharged in a lot of ways with guilt and stuff like that, and shouldn't be. So spirit and creation. Spirit is creation. God is creation. So spirit and creation are in the unknowing. If you didn't know, if you already knew, you wouldn't go looking. You wouldn't go after inspiration with a stick if you already had it. You wouldn't stumble across something useful and helpful if you weren't curious, if you didn't know. If you already knew. If you already knew everything, why would you go searching for anything? Right? So be curious and embrace what you don't know. Embrace the retreat and regroup and repeat. Embrace the achieve and accomplish and acquire. Embrace the becoming. You are becoming. You are becoming. I am becoming. Okay. I hope you have a great day. I hope this message was helpful to you. And let me know what you think. Let me hear from you. Take care. Mojo out.